some news. When I was reading Breitbart headlines earlier, one of the headlines I read, and I just kind of said it, and then I said, we'll get back to this, was that 36 states, in 36 states, pro-Trump rallies have been canceled. Now, the group that is doing this is called Act for America, and they had proclaimed Saturday, September 9th, that would be, what, a week and a half from now, as the Day of Action, ACT, in all caps, ION, Act for America. And the headline over at Breitbart was that they canceled, and also on Drudge for that matter, is that they've canceled these rallies in 36 states because people are afraid of violence from left-wing protesters or something like that. I don't know. They've got some weird theory. But when you look, they're organizing it over on Facebook. And if you go to their Facebook page where they had the RSVP list, and I'm getting this from apparently it started at gizmodo.com. Pro-Trump rallies in 36 states canceled will be held. So as of this morning, the RSVP list wasn't looking too promising, they write. This Virginia VA lefty, I'm assuming it's a Virginia lefty, posted this also over Democratic Underground. As of this morning, the RSVP list wasn't looking too promising. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 2 people going. Boston, 8 people going. Cape Cod, 8 people going. Mays Landing, New Jersey, 7 people going. Sebring, Florida, 2 people going. Washington, D.C., 3 people. Yes, they could get 3 people to come to a pro-Trump rally. I have a feeling that they're canceling it for more than just that. Meanwhile, Vice President Pence is going to join Donald Trump in Phoenix tonight for his, hey, let's shout out to Joe Arpaio, whether we pardon him or not. Let's bash brown people from Mexico, etc. rally, his so-called campaign rally. Now, keep in mind, he declared his candidacy for 2020 hours after he was inaugurated on January 20th, 2017, and said, okay, I'm a candidate, and therefore was able to start immediately raising money for his 2020 campaign, and has been doing so very aggressively. I'm on the mailing list, and it's every other day. It's a new, hey, would you like a mug? Would you like a cup? Would you, the president's logo? The president would like, it's a lottery. The president would like to see you, and you can come join him for dinner if, you'll be what, the lucky one. All this amazing stuff. And, they're pretty good at it. But the core thing, and it's cool from their point of view, is that if this is a campaign rally tonight, then the campaign gets to decide who comes to the rally. Whereas if it's the president of the United States addressing the people of Phoenix, the campaign doesn't get to decide who goes to the rally. Well, Trump wants to very carefully control who comes to his rallies because he doesn't want, people who might look different from him. He doesn't want people who might think different than him to be there. And this is like, racism on parade. And there are some folks in the United States, particularly some business people, who are starting to say, enough already. There's a company called GMM Nonstick Coatings here in the United States. Its CEO was, born in Waukegan, born and raised in Waukegan, Illinois. He's as American as you can get. However, his parents, grandparents, I don't know, somewhere in his family tree, somebody came here from India. And in fact, his name is Raveen Gandhi. Fine Indian name. And he wrote an op-ed for for CNBC, where he is a regular contributor. And in this op-ed, he wrote, and this is from Raw Story, by the way. They've got the article, and they've also got the sound clip that I'm going to play for you in a minute. He wrote, after Charlottesville and its aftermath, I will not defend Trump even if the Dow hits 50,000. Keep in mind, this is CEO of a major company. I will not defend Trump even if the Dow hits 50,000, unemployment goes to 1%, and GDP grows by 7%. Some issues transcend economics, and I will not, in good conscience, support a president who seems to hate Americans who don't look like him. The fact that Trump equated hate groups with those protesting hate lit me up. His moral leadership on this issue is reprehensible. So he publishes this over at the CNBC website and starts getting phone calls, emails, hate calls. The president of this company, who, by the way, is, was born and raised in Waukegan, Illinois, but his skin is a little darker than mine, and his name is not anglicized. And so, gee, there must be some reason to take him to task or something. Maybe he's even a Buddhist. No, seriously. I understand, Buddha arguably was a Hindu who then invented Buddhism, but Buddha was the founder of Buddhism. If you want Buddhists, go to Thailand. But if you want Buddhists, don't go to India. If you go to India, you want Hindus, right? And Muslims and Christians. There's, a lot. Well, there's some Buddhists there too, but it's like, Buddha, really? You'll get this little rant when you listen to this. This clip we're going to play in just a second. In response to this, and this clip is simply a representation of many, many, many that Mr. Gandhi received. And some of them are printed in the article over at Raw Story, and some of them others. But he released this audio. It came off his cell phone or off his home phone or whatever it was, or maybe his business phone. It was a voicemail. And he released this to the press, saying that he wanted to educate people about how racism works. He says, it was obvious that people thought my professional position somewhat protected me. In other words, as a CEO of Indian ancestry. He said, I wanted to show people that racism is blind to socioeconomics. It just is. Even though my race is a complete non-issue in my day-to-day life, the sad reality is there's a group of racists in the U.S. who view me as a second-class citizen. I wanted my peers in the business community, the civic community, my friend community, to see that this can happen to me, because there's this delusion that racism is dead because Obama was elected. Well, I'm telling you, racism is not dead. This is an unidentified woman. I don't know, maybe you can recognize her voice, so, although that could be kind of dicey, so don't call in with names. But this is, a woman who responded to his calling out Trump for palling around with Nazis. Here we go.
For Raven Gandhi, I read his article on CNBC Internet, and he tried to give Trump a chance. But after Charlottesville, he just can't do it. Well, then get your garbage and go back to India and sell it over there. Because you know what? All of a sudden, Buddha statues are kind of offensive to me. So I think we should take all the Buddha statues down that we have in the United States and send them back over to India. And then you could put your stickies on them, okay, and cover their face. So don't tell us about Donald Trump. Don't tell us about this country. And I can assure you, you're not going to tell us what statues stand and what statues go. So you can stick your stickies up your sticky Indian, and you can take that other half-ass Bangladesh creep with you, Nikki Haley. She's the one that started all this when she took down the Confederate flag. So don't tell us that you gave him a chance. We don't give a who you give a chance, okay? We're going to start taking down Buddha statues and see how you and Nikki Haley like that. And when we're done that, then we're going to start taking down their statues. Martin Luther King, because he's offensive to me. So how do you like that? So don't tell us what goes on in this country. Go back to where the pigs live in India and go clean up your own damn country. It's a filthy mess. The dogs don't even live over there, okay? Dogs. You're a Indian pig, and so is Nikki Haley.
Racism much? I mean, this is just a small glimpse into what people of color deal with on a regular basis. It's a sad commentary on the state of affairs that this woman thinks that she is defending the President of the United States. That this is the appropriate way to defend the President of the United States. It doesn't get much more broken than that. When you think that this is the way that you defend the President by calling up the CEO of a company and going off on a racist rant about his ancestors or his ancestry, and then attack our ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley. I mean, it's it really is a commentary on what has brought Trump to power.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
And hopefully it'll wake up and shock and horrify a lot of them, and obviously validate the perceptions